What's up, guys? Pita again, and today is Monday, and today's video is actually going to be about something that has been getting to me and kind of, I guess you could say, making me a little bit upset. I know there's a lot of people that don't know things in the lacrosse world, whether it's the type of pocket that they're using, the type of knot, the type of, again, pocket, whether they're using a high, mid, low, or a traditional, or a mesh, or a hybrid. After a while it starts to get frustrating, but at one point it just stops and you just kind of tune it out, and then that's when you start to miss the fact that you're here to spread your knowledge. You're not here to keep it and be selfish or anything like that. At least that's how I see myself. That's why I do these videos. So today's video is actually going to be about that. There's going to be a little bit of a spreading of knowledge of a couple different types of pockets that are generally used, the more common versions of those pockets. You can sit there and make thousands of variants of a pocket and say that it's the original, and I guarantee you somebody's done it. Somebody has done it. And that's why I try not to make my own pocket, try and get something patented or whatever, because somebody's probably already done it at some point and there's no point in doing it. But so there are pretty much four general types of traditional pockets out there. There's your classic, which is this Zulax pre-strung pocket, which is actually pretty clean. I'll get into this in another video, nice quick review before the lacrosse convention. And a lot of people should know the classic. The classic is asymmetrical, so you either, depending on how you string it, you start in the middle and zigzag out to one side and then zigzag out to the other. But I usually start from one end, go all the way through, and then I'm done. But so your asymmetrical classic traditional is the most common, the most apparent, the one that you see everywhere. This is how it was originally done, and this is my mainstay. I will suggest this pocket pretty much over everything when it comes to traditional. I mean, there's something, like if people really want something specific for what they do, I'll suggest something else, but this is my mainstay. This is what I suggest people. This is probably one of the most durable, adjustable, so on and so forth, most easily constructed ones if you do a multi-string. If you do a single string, it's a completely different beast, but if you do multi-piece, it's probably going to be one of the most reliable pockets that you use. That's the classic. And then you get into what I sometimes consider to be my go-to second, but it's just one of the symmetrical pockets, and that's the Trad X. As you can see here, there's actually X's created by the strings interlocking in the very middle. Now this is a variant of a Pita, more or less, where there, instead of twists, it's just going straight across, and then it goes down, and then your outer tracks are perfectly symmetrical. There's no asymmetricalness, just like the classic. It's completely symmetrical. It's supposed to be, ideally it's supposed to be more symmetrical, therefore creating more consistency, because there's not that the asymmetric look. There's not a knot here when it's over here on this side, yada yada yada. And it's just supposed to be more consistent. It's supposed to have a little bit of a smoother release, which is, it depends on the stringer, and it depends on the user whether or not it really has that. But this is your second most generally used pocket, which is a Trad X, and there's a lot of variants of this one that I've seen out there, but this is your common Trad X. And then next is one of the more popular ones, which is also one that I really strongly don't recommend people using, because a lot can go wrong simply with this center section. And that is your O channel. And as you can see, it looks like an O. Again, there's a lot of variants to this one. The most popular one right now, or at least it was the most popular about a year ago, was the thrown pocket from Thrown a String, and in reality, it's really just a 4-leather grunk pocket. A grunk pocket, if you look it up, is actually a 2-leather pocket, and at some point for your thrown pocket, all it is the side leathers are installed on a regular grunk and weaved kind of between the strings so that it has a little bit more ball retention, it has a little bit more hold, but those 2 side leathers really don't do much else than that. They don't really do anything because the string just kind of goes around them. It doesn't really incorporate the leathers into the pocket. So your actual original grunk and your thrown pocket, kind of the same thing. And there's a lot of other variants of an O channel, but the O channel's been around for a long time, so don't think that you're doing it for the first time. This is also probably the most difficult center track to do correctly and remain like that. Like, even someone like me and Shane Whittle, I mean, I've seen some of his, and I know more or less that it's going to shift. Whether it's him, me, or Thrown, it doesn't matter. It's going to shift, it's going to change, just because of the sort of tension that's involved in an O channel. So it's a little bit harder to keep these consistent, but the difference between this and the Trad X is that it creates a little bit more of a smooth feel because it's a little bit wider and because of how the strings create the channel. And the thing about the O channel is it can actually go pretty wide. It has a kind of a cushion to it because of how the centerpiece is done. Trad X has a little bit of cushion to it as well, but it differs. It differs a little bit just simply because of the knots. And then next would be your Pita, which I don't have a completed one, but that's actually what we're going to go into, is the misconception of the Pita pocket, or if you're a little bit of a old school junkie like me, the dog track, which was originally used by the Loyola Greyhounds, and it was one of the most common used ones by them, made popular by them. This is also the same sort of pocket that the Stanwicks use, that a lot of your more popular guys that use traditionals will be using. And it's really one of the most commonly used pockets because it's very simple to do. And I haven't seen many people screw it up horribly, but I have seen a lot of people just kind of get the misconception that a Pita pocket has to be a tight center. That's what this video is finishing up with. This is what I need you guys to know, is that your Pitas do not need to have the leathers like that. Your Pitas can actually have a center track that is actually rather wide, up to, I guess you could say, about an inch, almost an inch and a half. And I've seen some that are 2 inches wide and have amazing feel to them. And that's the thing about it. A lot of people think that, oh, that's not a real Pita. The letters aren't super close together. Wrong. Dead wrong. Because it's still a Pita simply because of the twist. And the common misconception is that it has to be super tight and that it just has to be a continuous twist all the way down, which it really doesn't. All you have to do is twist a couple times and then go out to your leathers, go, whether you're doing it from the outside in, inside out, doesn't really matter. And you just continue on. Now I usually don't string my Pitas or my X's or Trad X's or my O channels with a pushed out pocket like this. I like to string them flat so that I can get my distances a little bit more consistent. At least that's how I do it. It's not necessarily the way to do it, but it is my way to do it. And so that's kind of what I'm not showing you today. But so you see how I maintained the keeping it in the center, keeping my distance between the knots, and yet I created a diamond right here. And that's the thing. If you make it wider, you create these diamonds that actually create a little bit more of a softer feel. It allows your pocket to expand, to stretch, which allows you to have a little bit more whip, also a lot more hold when you're cradling, or when you're trying to throw a fake or something like that. And then you also have the concept that you need to have a whole bunch of twists, which isn't true. You don't need 5 twists in between every knot. Your pita can have 1 twist, and it's still a pita. That just makes it a loose pita, which is, I believe, I don't want to say the wrong one, but I think it's Jeremy Thompson. I don't think it's Jerome. Pretty sure it's Jeremy Thompson. There's a lot of them out there, but it's one of the Thompsons, and he uses a loose pita where it only has 1 or 2 twists, and the pocket, when he actually cradles with it, the pocket expands. So that's what I want you guys to know, is that it's still a pita. There's a lot of kids out there kind of ragging on each other, and I wanted to do something else for the video, but I really felt that I needed to do that. That's what this series is for. It's not just teaching you what I know. It's correcting you. It's helping you guide you along the path that encourages you to actually open your eyes and see that there is variance to everything. There's not just one set way to do everything. So I hope you guys got a little bit of an education out of that. And I'll actually do another twist for you guys to kind of show you what I mean. So I did 3, so it went 1, 2, and then 3 times around. So we're going to do it one more time just to show you what I mean. And it's rather simple. So you can actually go, that's considered twice. Well, I guess you could say that's considered once, because if you do it like this, that's an X. That's a trad X. So if the string's starting from here, if it ends on this side after you put it through around each other, that is a loose pita. That is a 1 twist pita. And that's one of the more loose, which hence the name. Also a little bit more hold, a little bit more whip, just because as the ball's traveling through it, I guess you could say it digs into the pocket. So I'll do 1 and show you what I mean, so that you guys see what I mean. So it's getting away from me. But so you center the twists. Oh gosh. You center the twists. Get your spacing about as right as you can, and then you work out what you can from there. If you have to, use your fingers. But there's your center. See? It's not tight at all. It's not, the leathers aren't right next to each other. It doesn't have to be that way. So that this helped you guys. I didn't know these sort of things when I was starting, and hopefully it helps you guys know what the heck you're talking about, know what the heck you're doing before you do it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope this helped you, and please comment, please subscribe if you haven't already, share this video, talk about it. It doesn't really matter what you guys do. I just hope this helped you. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to do, is just help spread the knowledge that I feel that you need to know, how I think you need to know it, because I'm not going to hand feed everything to you. I hope you guys understand that. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you later.